Welcome, guys, to my channel. It's Victor. Today I will be talking to you about the top 5 investments for 2022. Let's get into it. So, number one is real estate. Um, Basically, the traditional real estate involves buying a property and selling it later for a profit, flipping houses. And for you to do these, like for example, I live in the state of California, you need to be licensed. You have to be licensed to flip houses, in short, okay? The other common way is through real estate investment trust, that is REITs. And these are companies that own income generating properties like malls, offices, hotels, and that kind of a thing, and offer regular dividend payments. That is real estate crowdfunding platforms which often pool investors' money to invest into real estate projects. I know we've heard about all these. And this is best for investors who already have a healthy investment portfolio and are looking to further diversificate their portfolios, or are willing to take more risk to chase higher returns. Basically, this is not for everyone. This is for people who have the tens and millions of dollars, like Graham Stephan. Shout out to you. Okay, and yeah, basically this is for people who have a large portfolio and they don't mind, having some losses here and there. And how do you invest in real estate? That is, some REITs can be purchased on the online public market through an online broker, stockbroker, while others are only available in private markets. Similarly, some crowdfunding platforms are open to accredited investors only, while others don't put restrictions on who can invest. So real estate would be a great option to start if you're looking into any investments in the year 2022. The second one is individual stocks. And basically, a stock represents a share of ownership in a company. So stocks offer the biggest potential return on your investment while exposing your money to the highest level of volatility. The ups and downs, today it's up, tomorrow it's down. You may make a killing out of it. You may not get anything. You may lose 20 grand. I'm not scaring you. Don't get me wrong, but this is if you can put emotional money into these investments, because you are not guaranteed that you will get a return on it. Okay, so basically this is just a way to look at where do you think which option would fit you. Okay, so, and that is, individual stocks is best for investors with a well diversified portfolio who are willing to take on a little more risk. Due to the volatility of individual stocks, a good rule of thumb is do not put more than 10% of your portfolio. You could do 5%. A good advice is between 5 and 10%. And where can you buy these stocks? The easiest and least expensive way to buy stock is through an online discount broker. And once you set up your account and fund your account, you'll choose your order type and you'll be a bona fide shareholder of any company. So, number 3, dividend stocks. And what are dividend stocks? Basically, these are regular cash payments companies pay to shareholders and are often associated with stable, profitable companies. These are some of the blue chip companies, and also mid-sized companies that are doing pretty well. Okay, so while share prices of some dividend stocks may not rise as high or as quickly as growth stage companies, they can be attractive to investors because of the dividends and stability they provide. And one thing about these stocks is they tend to fluctuate very, very often. Okay, so be on the lookout on which dividends you're buying and which, like, listen to the news, in short. How is this company doing? What are some of the drawbacks that could affect a company's dividend? And these are best for investors, any investors who are fast timers or retirees, And though there are specific types of dividend stocks that may be better depending on where you are investing in your investing journey. So you don't expect someone who's beginning to be the same as someone who's been in this game, like a veteran who's been in this game for 10 years or 20 years or 30 years. So if you're starting out, don't put, as we say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I will not advise you to put all your money into one investment. Try and diversify it. If you're getting into dividends, open an account, fund it maybe with like maybe $500. Spend at least some time playing around with which dividends you think are doing well. And out of that, okay, your initial profits will not always be guaranteed. Like it's not a stepping stone to that. It will always be like that. No, just play around with it and understand the whole concept of investing in dividends. That is with the companies, the timing, everything going on. Like right now with the pandemic, pre-pandemic, and post-pandemic, like and right now the market, the stock market is not doing that well because the Feds have actually controlling it in a way, so it's very volatile. That is one thing that we all need to understand that. So for young investors, for example, may do well to look into dividend growers, which are companies with a strong track record of consecutively increasing their dividends. So if you're starting now, that's what I'm saying, that take a look at the market, look at some of the companies which are faring well and they have a good track record of always increasing their dividends yearly or after a certain period of time. These companies may not have high yields currently, but if their dividend growth keeps up, they could in future pay well. Now, over a long enough time frame, this, that is combined with a dividend reinvestment plan, can lead returns that mirror those of growth stocks that don't pay dividends. Okay, that is, if you're an older investor looking for more stability of fixed income, could consider stocks that pay consistent dividends. All right. Now, and where can you buy dividend stocks? Similar to others on the list, the easiest way to buy a dividend stock is through an online broker. And number 4, we have the index funds. And what is an index fund? It is a type of a mutual fund that holds the stock in a particular market index. For example, the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is a pretty common index fund. And the aim is to basically provide investment returns equal to the underlying index's performance, as opposed to an actively managed mutual fund that pays a professional to curate a fund's holding. Think of a basket whereby they have like all kinds of fruits and you just get to pick one, or maybe a piece of a certain fruit that you like. That's how I can explain it. That's the simplest way I can explain it. And its best form, that is, index mutual funds are some of the best investments available for long-term saving goals. If you're looking into savings, that is long-term, think of index mutual funds. And in addition to being more cost-effective due to lower fund management fees, index mutual funds are less volatile than actively managed funds that try to beat the market. Now, you're not always guaranteed to, get a return on all your investments, but just keep an open mind. And another thing about index funds, they can be very well suited for young investments. Investors with a long timeline who can allocate more of their portfolio toward higher returning stock funds than more conservative investments such as bonds. And where can you buy the index funds? The index funds are available directly from fund providers or through a discount broker. The 5th one is high-yielding savings accounts. Now, online savings accounts and cash management accounts provide higher rates of return than you'll get in your traditional bank savings or checking account. Now, these cash management accounts are like saving accounts, checking accounts, hybrid. Now, they may pay interest similar to savings account but are typically offered by brokerage firms and come with debit cards or checks. Let's take a look of high yield savings account companies. High yield saving account. One of the most common one we all know is Patelco. We've all heard of Patelco. If, for example, you have like $50,000 and you're looking for a place to and you want to open a savings account and get and have something going on and also get a return on your savings, Patelco is one of the best. That is savings that is like a cash management account to have. That is Patelco. Number one, they have 0 monthly fees, no minimum balance, overdraft transfers from savings or line of credit, debit MasterCard with price protection for purchases. Now, let's just take a look at what I mean by a high yield in savings account from one of these that is, let me just call them like a brokerage firm. Huh? Yeah, it's a brokerage firm anyway. So, and let's compare it with a regular bank. They have the monthly fee in Patelco is 0. Look at Bank of America 12 and look at Wells Fargo 10. The minimum deposit, opening deposit is $10. So anyone can open this. Anyone can have a Patelco account. Look at Bank of America $100. Look at Wells Fargo $25. Minimum daily balance to avoid monthly fee 0. $1,500 in Bank of America and Wells Fargo $1,500. What does that tell you? These brokerage firms are really good. And direct deposit qualifier to avoid monthly fee. There is no qualifier. Minimum $250, minimum $500. That tells you something. That having a Patelco brokerage savings account would be good. And it's best for, number one, saving accounts are best for short-term savings or money you need to access occasionally. That is, for example, just think of an emergency fund. Just setting some money on the side in case of a rainy day. Transactions now, that is transactions from a savings account are limited to 6 per month. Cash management accounts offer more flexibility and similar, or in some cases, high interest rates. They do have higher interest rates. They offer higher interest rates. Now, if you're new to saving and investing, a good rule of thumb is to keep between 3 and 6 months worth of living expenses in an account like this before allocating more towards the investment product lower on the list. And where to open a savings account? Now, due to the lower overhead costs as we've seen in Patelco, online banks tend to offer higher rates than what you'll get at a traditional banks with physical branches. So, and not all of them. Like now, for example, let's take a look at online banking, like Chime. Chime is one of them. So they have no overdraft fees, no minimum balance, no monthly service fees, no foreign transaction fees, and no transfer fees. So they have the Chime spending account and Visa debit card. Yeah. So there's Chime, and another one that I'd recommend is SoFi. SoFi. Yeah. Yeah. So SoFi also is also another, get up to 22.30 when you move your money to SoFi. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, those two are online bankings, and as you can see that they do have lower overhead costs. Keep that in mind. But online banks tend to offer higher rates than what you'll get at your traditional banks with physical branches. So that's it, guys. If you guys like this video, please share it, subscribe. I'm on a journey to $100, not $100, 100 subscribers, and come and follow follow me along in this journey to see how this goes. I hope you guys like this video. Thank you guys. Bye bye.